Last week, we witnessed an assault on our cruise ship, and while it was under investigation, that investigation has come to a close, and we now have some updates, and it is not good. Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Jordan and you have clicked into JJ Cruise. This is a YouTube channel all about the passion and obsession of cruise travel. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, a few days ago we did post a video about an assault that we actually witnessed on our cruise ship with a same-sex couple. I've got some updates that I'm going to get into, but before we get into all of those updates, I do just want to ask you, please consider subscribing to the channel. This is, like I said, a cruise-obsessed YouTube channel, and we're about 2,000 subscribers away from our 40,000 subscriber goal. So hit the subscribe button down there and be a part of the first 40K JJ Crew. And while you're hitting that button, also don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It tells YouTube that you like what you see. It is completely free to you, and it helps us more than you would ever know. For those of you that may not have seen the video, I'm going to give just a very quick recap. We are on a cruise ship with a performance space called Eden. It's actually a multi-purpose space. It's part restaurant, part bar, part performance venue. It spans multiple decks at the back of the ship. An absolutely stunning venue here on the Celebrity Apex. However, during one of the performances last week, a couple did decide to go up to the bar and order drinks, blocking the view of some of the people behind them. Those people got pretty upset, and a confrontation then occurred. Security came in very quickly. However, it was too late, as the people who were sitting kind of behind the bar area did unfortunately lay hands on that same-sex couple. Like I said, it doesn't end well for them, and we didn't think that it would, but I want to quickly address 3 of the comments or questions that we saw in that video. Y'all really blew up the comments section of that video with a lot of great discussion, but there was 3 things that we kind of saw kept coming up over and over and over again. So I wanted to answer some questions and then, like I said, give that update. The first one being about the bar itself. A lot of you wanted to know, why was that bar even open in the first place? Well, like I said, this is a multifunctional space. The bar is typically open all during the evening, and you've got people walking into the venue, going into dinner, walking out. Some people come in and stand for just a couple of songs. Some people are seated. So it is more of a casual performance venue. The bar does stay open, which means people can walk up and go get drinks. The second comment that we saw come in quite frequently was that, well, if these 2 guys decided to interrupt the show or walk over to the bar and block people's view, they kind of got what they deserved. They were being rude, and they should have never done that in the first place. Now, I'm going to leave proper theater or performance space etiquette up to all of you. Everyone, of course, has to decide for themselves what is appropriate and when is an appropriate time to walk up to a bar and get a drink. I am not condoning or saying what they did was okay. However, everything that followed with the homophobic slurs and the actual putting hands on them is never, ever, ever okay, and we don't want to go down the route of victim blaming or blaming the victims who actually did have something really wrong happen to them. The last comment that we did see pretty frequently in the comments was the idea or discussion around freedom of speech. Now, while there are some protections against hate speech in the United States, many of you sitting at home said, look, it's too bad that that guy said what he said, but he really shouldn't be able to be prosecuted, put in jail, or found guilty for just saying some homophobic slurs. And this is what I want to say in response to that. People often forget that when they are back home, the rights that they have in their state or county or city are at times going to be different when you are traveling out of the country. While maybe it wouldn't be possible for where you live to sue someone over hate speech, Overseas in another country that has completely different sets of laws and regulations could be in a very different boat. You can file this under things that you need to know 101 when going out of the country or traveling abroad. You always want to be very, very careful because when you go to other countries, you might not know exactly what is allowed and isn't allowed in that country. Now, I am just responding to those who, kind of flew the flag of freedom of speech. I am not in any way saying that hate speech is acceptable under any circumstances, because it isn't. And using homophobic slurs against a same-sex couple is wrong. No questions, full stop. When you do get accused of assault on a cruise ship, a number of different things can happen. You can possibly get banned from the cruise line for life, you can get taken off and put in jail, you can get charges pressed against you. And what people often forget is on these high-tech cruise ships, on most cruise ships actually nowadays, there are cameras everywhere. And they can go back and review the footage and see exactly what happened. If somebody accused you of touching them inappropriately, security can go back to see if you actually touched them inappropriately. And in the case of the same-sex couple on our cruise ship, they did review that footage and they did find the person that laid hands on the same-sex couple to be guilty. So here's what happened. That evening after the entire incident, the guy that used homophobic slurs and assaulted the other passengers was taken away back to his room and locked up for the remainder of the sea days. Now, mind you, we were on a transatlantic sailing, so there was like a week of sea days where this person would have been locked in their room. We then got to Ireland where they were escorted off the ship, and from what we have been told, escorted to jail. They also are having charges pressed against them. This means that this couple could be in huge amounts of trouble. Not only are they in another country away from the United States, they're now going to have to go through a legal battle in another country overseas. This is extremely problematic for them, and this is really, really serious consequences. You never know what type of people or who you're going to encounter when you travel, so it is so important that you treat everyone with the utmost respect and kindness, because choosing hate over choosing kindness is always going to end badly for you. We've been getting so many questions and DMs about what has happened, people asking us to make a follow-up video, so we wanted to bring this information to you because we thought that this was a lesson for all of us and a very hard lesson to learn. That is it for today. Again, I am Jordan and this is JJ Cruise. Until next time, see ya!